Hey, what is going on YouTube? David here bringing guys another YouTube video, and today we're finally doing my 6-month Tesla review, even though it's technically been like 9 months already, but still. Better late than never. So we have a lot to talk about today. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you guys get notified when I make videos like this in the future. And if you guys are new to the channel, my name is David, and I took delivery of my Tesla Model 3 probably sometime in like February. And this channel is all about documenting that Tesla ownership experience. I'm also a big tech geek. I love technology. And when I say technology, I'm more what you would call a Apple fanboy. I do mostly Apple stuff. It's basically documenting my Tesla ownership experience and also all the food experience that I go on with the car with my girlfriend, all the fun stuff that we do, and we'll probably sprinkle in some technology and some Apple in there. So if that sounds like something that will be of interest to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, let's get into today's video.
Firstly, I just wanted to start off and say that I'm just your average Tesla Model 3 owner. When I drive my car, I'm just reviewing it just like your average person who wants a good, reliable car that makes my life easier, makes me more productive, and keeps me safe when I'm driving. I don't take my car to the track, and I don't race the car, officially of course. Why did I buy this car then? Well, fundamentally, a car is a tool that gets you from point A to point B. Bonus points if the car gets you there safely, fast, in style, and in a reliable fashion, right? The Tesla Model 3 is a speedy transportation device that feels like what a car would be if your smartphone was a car. The car really just feels like an iPhone sometimes. It just works. Which leads me to the pros of the car. Some of the things I talked about in this video might mirror or sound familiar with some of the stuff that I talked about in my 3-month review of the car. I'll throw a card for that video in the top right corner here if you want to check out that video. Let's start with the pros of the car. So the first pro is the speed. The car's speed still hasn't worn off on me. The speed still blows my mind every time I turn my car into sports mode. The instant torque is still incredibly satisfying, and I think is one of the things that I have grown accustomed to, and I really don't think I can ever go back to a slower car now. Even if I don't have it on sports mode all the time, as I find the speed a little bit too much for most scenarios and I leave it on chill mode most of the time, it's still super exciting to me knowing that insane amounts of speed is readily available to me in just a click of a button. The thing is just stupid fast and irresistibly addicting. The speed is not only good for speed adrenaline junkies, but also quite helpful for merging traffic, overtaking safely of course, another car, or just getting to work on time when you're running late. I can't tell you how many times I've been in my car and there are people driving poorly and I really want to get ahead of somebody. Or maybe there's flying rocks flying off of cargo trucks that are driving on the freeway and I really want to get past them so I can avoid my car getting completely pummeled in little rock chips. I think speed is always the first thing that comes to my mind, and I'm constantly going to mention to people when they ask me about the car. Another pro of the car is just how simple this car is, and the whole Apple philosophy of it just works applies here. Through my time of owning the car so far, I've never really run into huge issues with needing to troubleshoot the car to the point where something major wasn't working like it's supposed to. The car is so simple and intuitive that Tesla drivers of all ages should be able to figure out how to use the car. At the rate some young kids are nowadays with their iPads, they could probably figure out how to control your car if they got access to your phones, so be careful parents. The car is super simple and really intuitive to use. And I'm not kidding when I say people of all ages should be able to figure out how to use this car pretty quickly. So once everything is just set up the way you like it, you just really set it and forget it. Simply put, the car just works and you don't need to tinker with it anymore than some of the essential settings to personalize the car to your liking. Speaking of settings, I plan on doing an essential Tesla Model 3 settings video soon, so if that sounds like something that would be of interest to you, then please consider subscribing to the channel and let me know down in the comments below if you would like to see that kind of a video. And also don't forget to drop a like on the video so YouTube knows it's a good video and also allows me to reach more Tesla owners. The next pro of the car is the Tesla infrastructure and constant updates. The EV market is getting more and more competitive every single year, with many cars coming out from the likes of Lucid, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Ford, Rivian, etc., and even some Chinese car makers like NIO. Tesla does have a lot of competition in store for them. However, Tesla's infrastructure is so strong and ahead of the game that I don't think any other, what I like to call traditional car makers, can even come close. Most other companies are just car companies and they make cars. Tesla isn't really just a pure EV car company, but they are also a leader in the EV car industry and also a tech company. I guess my point is that Tesla's infrastructure is just so strong that you can just take your car across the country if you need to. And the car is smart enough to plan when and where you need to charge your car so that you don't run into any issues. There are superchargers so conveniently placed throughout the country that you really shouldn't have too many problems with taking long trips anywhere in the country. The car was able to accurately tell us when and where we should stop and charge when we took our trip to Vegas and also to San Diego. Obviously, these aren't very long trips, but I am 100% confident in my car to be able to plan out strategically a trip across the country if I needed to do that. The car was able to accurately tell us when and where we should stop and charge so we can make it to our destination, and with an accurate estimation of how much battery we will be using and how much battery will we have left when we arrive. It is truly revolutionary and amazing what Tesla is doing in the car market right now. And again, it sounds like I'm just trying to sell you on Tesla as a company, but this video is about the Tesla Model 3. But that's just what it is. When you're buying a Tesla car, you get the whole infrastructure that comes with a Tesla, and that's what makes it really shine. It's kind of like the Apple ecosystem almost, where everything just works really well together. Obviously, I'm not comparing Apple with Tesla, but you should get my point. And which brings me to my next point. Because Tesla is essentially a tech company, they make it so easy to control and manage your car. Have any software issues or bugs? They can fix it via a software patch update that is just as simple as a phone update on your smartphone. Small quality of life improvements are also constantly being pushed to the car in updates as well. Essentially, every single thing can be controlled in your car with your phone. It's so simple that anyone that has a general idea of how to use a smartphone should be able to grasp how to control and navigate the Tesla app with little to no learning curve. I might be sounding like an Apple presentation right now, but it's just the truth. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Tesla is like the Apple of the car industry. And until Apple starts making the Apple car, I will keep on saying that Tesla is basically the Apple car. It's a car that's simple, it's minimalistic, and it just works coming out of the box. It's simply put like a drivable smartphone. It's what you get if you got a huge iPhone and you put some wheels on it and you drove it around. However, where it is not comparable to the iPhone and Apple products in general is something I will discuss shortly, so stay tuned. Another pro of the car is the climate control and overheating protection of the car. Although I've never had to use the climate control to warm up my car in the winter, as I live in California and winters are basically non-existent here, I have no doubt that those features are incredibly useful as well. I have, however, just gone through a few massive heat waves on the west coast of the US where it was pushing 100 plus daily for almost a week or two. My car just sits in the heat all day, and the cabin overheat protection did a great job making sure my car doesn't get too hot, which will damage the car or possibly the central computer in the form of the screen in the middle of the car. Also, the overheat protection made getting into my car at the end of my day not nearly as bad and as hot as it would have been had it been a regular car without these preset climate control options. My Tesla made the heat wave a little bit more bearable in those hellishly hot few weeks. However, it will make your car sound like a struggling old air conditioning system. It still amuses me when one of my coworkers, who's a little bit older, came up and asked me if I accidentally left my car running outside when they walked by it. It certainly can give off that false impression. Next pro of the car is its minimalistic nature of the car. The car is just so simple and clean when you step inside. There's no overwhelming amounts of buttons or features that you'll probably never use and don't even know what they are or what they even do. In the past, I've owned many cars. Some of the cars would have an absurd amount of buttons, features that I didn't even know what they were there for, features that I keep on forgetting to use, and it was just a waste. Not with the Tesla. Everything is simple, spacious, and the car really doesn't waste too much space at all. There's basically no physical buttons inside of the car except roll down, window, and open door. I've really grown to appreciate the one screen manage everything. The central monitor essentially just controls everything of the car, and all the features and settings that you don't need when you're driving is just a few taps away. and it doesn't bog up the screen, so your screen still has all the information that you need. And you can control your car remotely, especially if you have the premium connectivity and you're able to activate Sentry mode whenever you want, just to see your car's surroundings. My girlfriend's car, she did end up paying for a full year of premium connectivity because she likes the features. And on our Las Vegas trip, we were able to park the car inside of a casino hotel. I loved being able to check my car's surrounding, honk if I needed to, and also talk through my car speakers if I wanted to somebody. The car also being an EV obviously saves me money on gas. Also, the car saves money on maintenance and upkeeping. So far, I have probably spent maybe just $5 for the windshield wiper fluid that I actually overpaid for, as I was supposed to get the cheaper stuff, probably from Walmart, resulting in messed up looking windows that I had to drive around with for a bit, making me look really silly on the road. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll also throw a card for that video in the top right corner of this video right about now. The car just saves a lot of money. Alright, that's enough of the good things about the car. Let's talk about some potential cons. And there's definitely some major flaws with owning the Tesla Model 3. Firstly, if you've seen in some of my other videos on this channel before, one of the weakest points about the car is the quality control. I think this is a really big issue with Tesla cars. The quality control just isn't there. The car feels cheap, it sounds cheap, and you can't really help but feel the part. The plastic in the car just feels like really cheap plastic, and how did I pay so much money for cheap plastic like this? The quality control is just so bad, resulting in, for the most part of over 6 months, I had a ridiculously annoying and obnoxious rattling, creaking noise that would occur nonstop from my passenger side seat. And it actually took me 3 to 4 service center appointments before it was finally diagnosed properly and actually fixed. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I like to refer to that as the service center trilogy. I'll leave a playlist for that down in the description below, and I'll throw a card for it in the corner right here in the top right again. It's an expensive car, and it's not just a toy for some people. It's a very expensive car, and it's only getting more and more expensive, and for some people to pay that much and to get a car that's plagued with quality control issues, it just isn't a good look for Tesla. I have friends who just bought Teslas, and they're also now already in line for the service centers to fix up issues that they had problems with when they picked up their car. Which brings me back to the comparison that I made earlier with Tesla to Apple products. Apple products look extremely premium and they feel the part. The phone looks like a piece of jewelry, and it feels heavy and it feels great and it feels like quality. What you get when you pay for an Apple product essentially is you're buying into the ecosystem that works so well together and it's so well integrated, but you're also getting something that feels like quality. With the Tesla, I feel like it's not there yet. You're buying into an ecosystem, you're buying into an infrastructure that's great. However, you're also buying into a car that's notorious for using cheap products, for having quality control issues, for having service center issues. Although there are definitely similarities, and I feel like Tesla is going in the right direction, it is still far from being perfect. I really wish they used better quality materials in the cars. During the countless service center appointments that I had to go through to get my car fixed, which is another issue that I will address in just a moment, I took many Ubers. Some of them I would get other Teslas, and some of them other cars. I couldn't help but feel that during the times where I got other cars that weren't Teslas, that the build quality on the cars just felt much better. The doors felt sturdier, the seats felt more solid, and the materials used inside of the cars just felt like they were better quality. I couldn't help but look at my Tesla and just think how cheap some of these parts probably costed to make, and how thin some of this plastic is compared to some of the other cars that I was sitting in. And bear in mind, I wasn't ordering super expensive cars or anything, they're just your regular cars that just looked and felt better. Another negative of the car is just the limited amounts of options, customizations, and colors on the Tesla. Now, I'm sure this really depends geographically on where you live, and not everyone is going to be in the same situation as me right now, but where I live, Teslas are everywhere. There are Model Ys and 3s literally everywhere on the street. You end up having this sense of an identity crisis almost, where you feel like you are just one of the million. Your car just doesn't feel that unique, and you see your car everywhere since the bodies look the same. Sure, you can lower it, get different wheels, wrap your car, get cosmetic accessories for your car, but for the most part, they still look the same as all the other million Model 3s and Model Ys on the road. Obviously, this isn't a huge problem for a lot of people, and honestly, this isn't a problem for me, but just something to be aware about. I actually really like the Tesla community, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm sure in time, Tesla will eventually push out more body types and more models and make the cars a little bit more unique. I'll also make sure to leave a link down in the description below for some accessories videos that I posted in the past from a practicality standpoint, but also from a cosmetic standpoint. I also plan to do some updated accessories videos in the future, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and make sure you hit the bell notification bell so you guys get notified when I upload new videos and content like this in the future. Alright, that's enough bashing on the car for one day. Ultimately, I think the car is great. I'm just as in love with it as I was on day one. I would totally buy it all over again if I could, although I would make some small changes like getting the white interior because it looks super futuristic and super clean, but also getting the white or gray exterior of the car, as that's the free option, not only to save money, also because I want to differentiate myself from all the Teslas on the road and get a wrap on my car. I want to get a wrap on my car because I get to choose a unique color, but also I get to protect my paint and the body of my car. I still look forward to driving my car every day, hands down my favorite car that I've ever owned. Tesla is constantly making much welcomed and subtle improvements on the car that I look forward to with every update. The car is basically like an iPhone without the quality, and it really improves my quality of life. It really sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it really is life-changing. At the end of the day, cars are forms of transportation to get us from point A to point B safely and reliably. This car does that and then some. Some people would say that Tesla cars have no soul as there's no engine and there's no feedback from the car when you drive it. I do miss my old Lexus RCF that had a V8 in there that sounded phenomenal and what you would call full of soul. Call it old age if you want, but although I do miss that car and some feedback that I would get and the low aggressive rumbling and growling from the car, I actually really am enjoying the peaceful, quiet drive of the Tesla. Teslas come equipped with really good sound speakers and sound systems. It really makes the drive a lot more luxurious and enjoyable as well. The Tesla is silent but deadly. I love silently blasting past loud, obnoxious cars on the road. It sounds and feels like my car is kicking ass without breaking a sweat. The car doesn't come without its compromises though. There's pros and cons like all things in life, and it's about weighing what matters to you most. My Model 3 simplifies my life and has become an indispensable method of transportation now. I am willing to make compromises for the benefit the car brings. And thanks to Tesla constantly pushing out small improvements to the car, it really shortens the list of things that I can complain about. That being said though, the car is not without its flaws. And as the EV market grows and develops, I'm going to keep this an open relationship, and I'm going to keep my options open and see if another car manufacturer can take the EV leader title from Tesla. Until that time, I have one kick-ass of a car, and I'll be driving this thing with smiles for years to come.
And that's it for the video, guys. If you thought this video was helpful, informative, or somewhat entertaining at all, please consider subscribing to my channel. Like I said, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world to me if we can get to 1,000 by the end of this month. Also, make sure to check out some of the content I have below in the description and also in the pinned comment for other Tesla related content. And make sure to hit that thumbs up button so that YouTube knows it's good and it will recommend it to more people on YouTube. So it'll allow me to help more people out there. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. I know it was a long video. If you guys watched all the way to the end, comment down below the number 8. Although this video is titled 6-month review, technically by the time you guys are watching this video, it's already been 8 months. So comment down below the word 8 so that I know you guys watched the whole video. With that being said, I hope you have a great day, and my name is David, signing off. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!